We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
Business in Pennsylvania.
And business in Pennsylvania is our business.
Let's move on to the budget. Let me ask you, first of all, the big broad question. Can you give us an update on the talks? We're approaching now the 1 month stretch run here.
Well, the legislature's been in recess for the last 2 weeks, so there's been a lot of talking for the last 2 weeks. But I think what happened before they went on recess, I think what happened in the House, passage of a substantive property tax relief bill. There are big differences between what I'm proposing and what was in the bill that passed the House, but it was a bipartisan effort, and it was the first time in my lifetime that I've seen substantial, substantive property tax relief, and I think that's a really good sign. The Senate, before they adjourned, addressed the issue of the pension. Again, disagreements on where we should be and ought to be on that, but again, I think for the first time in a long time, we're not kicking this can down the road, as they say, and I think that's heartening. So we have a lot of things to talk about in the next 4 or 5 weeks, and the budget is due the end of June. I think all of us are going to work hard to make sure that comes in on time, but I think we're going to work even harder to make sure that we have a budget that makes Pennsylvania a lot better.
Yeah, and I've been telling people I've covered, this is my 21st budget that I've covered here in Harrisburg. I'm one of the most cynical people you'll ever talk to about the process. But I'm saying it's just good, whether it's the final version or not, and we know it's not on these things that have passed so far, it's just great to see that they are getting votes on the floors.
No, and I think the issue is that there is a real urgency to getting a number of these things done. We need property tax relief. There's an urgency to that. We need to invest in education. We need to address the pension issue. And I think what we're seeing is that people are talking about that stuff now for the first time in a long time. And I think that we should all take, heart. That's a good thing.
So, speaking of the process, obviously there's a lot of staff involved in a lot of the initial talks and even going forward from this point. But at what point are you in the room?
Well, this is my first budget, so I've been meeting with leaders, so I'm in the room in a number of cases. In a number of cases, their staffs and people in my staff are talking to work out the details. So I'm not sure when I'm in the room, when I'm not, but at key points I'm going to be in the room, and this is something that I'm in the room one way or another in every conversation, whether it's through my staff or me personally.
And as you said, there's a lot of talking left to go, but are you seeing any place where there would be give and take, whether it's you giving or you taking? You know, is there going to be is there room for compromise? Because we see both sides, and every year they dig in, and eventually we get a budget because we have to have one. But what are the prospects for compromise this year?
Well, these are negotiations. We live in a democracy, so the key issue is discussion, and we're going to have discussion. We're going to have a give and take. I think one of the things that there is such a thing as like a sterile debate where you just sort of trade barbs, but I think in really good, honest-to-goodness negotiations, you're actually learning from each other. I believe that what I propose can be better, and I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to get some ideas from the other side, and I'm hoping they'll look at this in the same way, that there's some things maybe they've overlooked and that I have some good ideas. And in the end, what will come out of this process is a really good budget for Pennsylvania. I think, again, the thing that is important that sense of urgency that for the first time in a long time, things are actually happening here in Harrisburg, and that's really good.